Oh, just let me. Okay. Ready, Rose? We're on, and we're on.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Care Coordination Committee meeting. I'm glad you all can make it, and I want to honor your time. It is 10 o'clock, so I want to start on time for those of you who got on the line on time. So, of course, I know we all have a lot to do, and I don't want to, waste anybody's time. If anyone join us, I'm sure Chris will, put them on mute and acknowledge them when they come in onto the line. So before we start, my name is Rose Sauls, and I am the chairperson for the Care Coordination Committee, and I'm hosting this meeting together with Christopher Greif and Deborah Greif. Chris, if you want to go to the housekeeping rules before we move on.
Yes. First of all, good morning, everyone. As we getting more, as Rose just said, more people coming in now. So let me just make sure. And just to remind everyone, as you're coming on, please mute your microphones. It is very easy so we do not hear echoes or your personal conversation to whoever you're talking on the outside. But I am going to say welcome again. And as I said, I always do a little winking just to wake up everyone. First thing I want to remind everyone, housekeeping rules is one I just mentioned. Please mute yourself at this time. Rose Sal, who's the chair, with Deborah Greif as well as me, must keep the system on. And as everyone is coming on, I will give you a reminder that the chat will be open in just a few minutes once I finish the housekeeping rules. Everyone's, as I said before, everyone must mute their computers, tablets, as well as phones. Now, tablets and computers, you do have a device on your menu, which is here on this bottom screen, which I can see, but you can see in your own. You have a microphone on the left. You have a camera, if you want to put it on. You do have a panel with an S that says number 12. That's how many people, really it's 13 because Debbie's with me, so that makes 13. If you click on that, you get all the other devices with A, raise your hand, B, the chatter, and other stuff that has been updated into the Ring Central. Same way as Zoom, as well as that. Now, that hand means I will see your hand is up, and I will make sure that we'll see it. Now, for everyone who has a question on the panel, you can do it two ways. A, you can raise your hand. B, you can put it on the chat, and we will make sure we'll answer if you don't want to mention your name. Some people might say, oh, thank you. The other thing for the phone people, as I remind you, some people are coming on the phone. *6 is to mute or unmute. Again, *6 to mute or unmute. Now, as I said before, if you need to raise your hand, the hand is, right, looks like this, and that will show me who is identifying themselves with that phone number or that name. So please, everyone, please remind yourself, *6 to mute, *6 is to mute and unmute, *9 to raise your hand. And for anyone on the computer, it is a mute thing, which is right next to me, which is a microphone and camera. If you want your camera on, that's your choice. But main thing is the microphone must be on mute at all times. If you have a question for Rose or anyone else, please raise your hand so we can keep the meeting in order, fashion, and courtesy and respect. So at this time, let's welcome again Rose Sal with Deborah Greif, together as one.
Good morning, everybody.
So, and as I put Rose on the big screen, it's so beautiful. Go ahead, Rose.
You're too much, Chris. You're too much. Good morning again, everyone. So welcome. So just want to go over a few updates. As you all know, I'm not sure if I see a couple of new names on the line, so I'm not sure if this is your first time at the Care Coordination Committee meeting. This meeting is pretty much a partnership together with CCOs and provider agency. It's a collaboration. We all need to have inputs and share, ideas, information, resources together. So this is the purpose of the meeting, and also to bring these information up to our family members. So we rely on care coordinators to kind of, give us care managers at this time to give us updates on what's happening within the CCOs, and also aligning that information to provider agencies. So I'm glad I see representation from Care Design and Tri-County. I'm not sure if there's anyone here from ACA, so it's really good to see everyone. Is anybody here from ACA today?
Anyone here from ACA, please unmute yourself and identify yourself.
Okay, so not a problem. Maybe some people are still joining. Let's wait and see what happened. But again, so we just want to get some update in terms of what's going on with everyone. I know right now a lot of I think one of the update that I have, a lot of programs are returning back in person, right? A lot of our individuals are getting vaccinated. We are bringing clients back, in person and to programming space now. So I just wanted to kind of like get a quick check-in how things are going, for the providers that are online. And then I would be checking in as well with the CCOs that are online to see, any feedback that they're getting from family members. Although we have quite a few individuals vaccinated, I realize that a lot of those individuals that are residing at home are still not vaccinated. So just a quick update on how that's going. What are the challenges and what are the struggles are we hearing from family members and our individual that we support? If anyone would like to share, you can raise your hand and then Chris will unmute you.
Or I can tell them to unmute themselves. But this will be a good time if anyone needs to unfinished business. Please identify yourself. Hello?
Hello, can you hear?
Okay, I'm going to remind everyone, if you're speaking on the microphone, and I do have to remind people on the cell phone, you must mute yourself as well. Okay. Say this last name. Z-H-U.
Zakorova.
Zakolova. You said something? Otherwise, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what's going on.
So I'll say, Rose, I'm going to say something. This is Deborah Gray from Chair of the Advisory Council. On the DD Council, I am the secretary, and I'm the co-chair with Rose. One of the biggest problems a lot of families are having is originally a lot of them were having to stay home, to have the vaccine brought to home, and they're mostly doing Johnson & Johnson, but then it was held up because they had to check, because there were cases of young women who were getting blood clots. It was rechecked and it could happen, but now they are letting them have the vaccine back at home, because some of our individuals cannot handle being in a large setting like where a lot of the vaccine sites are. The other thing is there's a call to waiting list. Even if you do it through, say, YAI, HeartShare, any of the other Article 1628 claims that are under OPWDD's auspices, as well as the hospitals. There are times there are walk-up sites, but you see, a lot of our individuals, because it's not just going to get the vaccination, you have to fill out paperwork, and many of our individuals cannot write or fill in paperwork. So that is a couple of the issues we have. The sites are all supposed to accommodate any person's disabilities at all, or if not, you can contact 311. But these are the big issues that have been happening. There are probably even more. But as you're saying, also, many of our individuals have underlying health conditions, may have had a reaction to one or either of one of the three vaccines. So I know these are issues. Why do I know that? Because Chair of the Advisory Parents have either texted me, called me, Facebooked me, and I understand the issues, and I'm also going to talk as a parent. I totally understand, because we have to make sure our children are ready to do this. And if our kid may be having a cold or a sinus infection or anything else, we have to make sure also with their permission from their medical doctors that they're able to go ahead and do the vaccines. So that's one of the problems. Of course, you also have the individual that no matter what you do, they scream, cry, run around. So that's also another problem, because we have a lot of children who do not like to see the doctor, do not want an injection, and I understand their fears. So these are a lot of the issues that a lot of them are having. So as you see, Rose, and it's on both sides, it's also, what can we do? This is not an easy time, and we have to hope that we can get as many of them vaccinated as possible. If not, Well, there has to be reasons, and we need to also be understanding. There are some individuals also cannot have it right away because right now, I'm going to use this as an example. It's roast fever, the pollen counts are super high, and if an individual is very sensitive, they may not be physically up to it because they could be suffering from their allergies. The other problem is that, and the other reason why we couldn't get all of our individuals vaccinated, it was all, yes, we have, yes, the DD population was allowed even, but there were still issues with getting them vaccinated because of age. So these are the different issues. Going back, some of the individuals actually may want to go out, and some like staying home. But these are some of the issues that I know because families have told me what has been going on. Have you heard something like that, Rose, or anybody else on the call has heard
Yeah.
these things, or phone, or video?
Yes, Deb. I've heard similar, and stories as like you have shared. But anyone that is waiting for medical clearance is understandable, and I get that. I totally understand, and they they do have to check with their primary care physician before that decision can be made. I think the purpose of my question is to ensure that family members are getting the support, like you have mentioned, if they need assistance in terms of completing the consent form, that they are getting assistance, they are getting the education that they needed, and they know now, vaccinations are open everywhere if they are interested. I think what I don't want to hear from family members is that I don't know where to go or I'm not getting the support that I need. So I want to make sure that that's happening. I know we've called one person in terms of booking community services. We recently called a family member and she was like, I don't even know where to go. I do want my child to get the vaccine because I want them to come back to program. And that was alarming to me, right? As much information and knowledge that is there. So I want to make sure that information is trickling down to family members.
There's also another problem, Rose, that a lot of our individuals, the parents, also may have another child. Yes, I know individuals maybe going to programs. They're over the age of 21, but that doesn't mean the parents and the family may not have youngsters at home who cannot go to school because they're in general education and they have to figure out how am I going to take my child to get the older child to get the vaccination that I can't leave the younger one at home. Well, if they have accessorized and they have the right to, if they're trying to book the trip, what they can say and do is, let's say, first you can't tell the first person you speak to on the phone. You inform them that you would like to speak to a supervisor because you also have to bring your minor child with you or children, and you may need one of the, if it's an aid like for either Respite or Reshab to go with them, and you request a supervisor. This is through for accessorize. But they also, if they can't go there, there is a program that's through Moped, Mayor's Office of Persons with Disabilities, where they can do the vaccine at home. Yes, they're going, and one thing I would like all the care coordinators
and everyone
to hear what I'm saying. When they call you, because you want to do it at home, they will ask you a lot of questions because they have to make sure that the person really can't go out or the caregiver can't go out with them. This was strongly said to me, not just on me, but all advocates of people with disabilities. You cannot really physically go out, but you want them to come to the home. The first call will be intense questions. Don't get angry. Don't get hostile. They need all this information because they're going to be questioned by New York City, New York State, the federal government, and the and any agency that's overseeing them. So please, work with everybody. I know it's annoying. I hate getting questioned myself.
Okay. We do have a question. Christina, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, all. No, it wasn't a question. I was just providing some resources based on what I'm listening to. I have some information on homebound New Yorkers, which is what I believe she's speaking about also. And I do know that they do ask a lot of questions. I was just going to put the link there. And I also have some information on free transportation to, I know she was mentioning some roadblocks and some things that we've all been working through. So I also have some information on a link for free transportation. So I was just trying to assist with that.
And thank you for bringing that up, Christina, because that information, and you are correct. There is free transportation there, and also if they already have a set ride, they can also still use that. There are 2 locations also do have the Mta Buses, that's free, which they call the B89V and the Q98V. So say like if you're in Brooklyn coming from the East New York area, going into Crown Heights, Brownsville, there is a bus there running. You just look on the Mta website map. It does tell you where it runs. It goes right into Evans College. The other one is in York College. That travels along from York College all the way to the Rockaway. So that's another location also. But thank you, Christina, for backing that up.
No problem.
Thanks, Christina.
Yes.
No problem.
Good to see you. How are you?
I miss you, Rose. Perfect.
That's my former staff.
I know.
Oh, so good to see you.
I know, Christina.
Nice to see you, Rose.
You too, you too.
I was surprising you, Rose, for her.
Oh my God.
Whatever information that I have that will help, because I'm also going to put on the link. I also have some information about some pop-up sites in MTA
stations. Yeah, he's going to announce that.
Okay, so I'll just wait. Okay.
No, but you're backing me up because I was going to save that piece for a little later, but I'm glad we're on the same page because that's a good start. I'm glad. See, Christina and Christopher, always on the case.
I met you before. I loved you from the minute I met you. Okay, guys, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
See, that's good energy. Good.
See? But these are, I'm not trying to make it difficult for the families. No, I understand. But I also understand the care coordinators. Coordination. I know individuals it's just not one family. It's a lot of families. But there are a lot of resources. The mayor's office, persons with disabilities, has a whole list of it. Chris and I will make sure it's on the chat more than one time.
It's also available on our website.
On the website, because truthfully, I will tell you, they've been very, very helpful.
And I'm putting this up because Christina will be surprised.
You see, look at all the.
And just to let everyone know, they're also adding other ones by the following week. So just letting everyone know, the more people go to these locations, these will be available. And just to let you know, Coney Island Stillwell Avenue is ADA accessible.
True.
I can tell you that because I know Broadway Junction is not ADA accessible. So please, if you're coming from that part of Brooklyn, head to Coney Island. It's a good day to get a Nathan's hot dog for a change and get some fresh air. And maybe, the heck of it, maybe the Brooklyn Cyclone games, which they just started. You also do have Penn Station, Grand Central, which they just did a press conference this morning. In the Bronx, 180th, Metro North, Upmore, and I can't say the name because it's Ulster.
Ossington, Metro North stop
has it, and Jamaica 179th on the F, and Hempstead on the Long Island Railroad. So as I said before, these are the times from starting today as we speak until Sunday, and then they will be more pop-up announcements by, I will say, by the next week, and then we will keep everyone informed. You can always, again, check our website or the Facebook page. But thanks
if they see these pop-up sites are popular, they may keep them up.
But the vaccine is only Johnson & Johnson. So if someone needs you're desperate for a Johnson & Johnson so much, you got that chance now. Because I will be doing the Johnson & Johnson this weekend. And
I'm thinking about it, only because I have to call my doctor.
Yeah, well, I'm clear for Johnson & Johnson. But I just wanted to, since Christina brought it up, and I'm glad someone is good energy coming in today. Feel the good energy. But let's move on to, before I do that, and I'll save this for later. Let me move back to my nice spring screen, which Rose is
pollen free.
It's pollen free and smell free. I know. Thank you, Rose. But regarding other finished business
unfinished.
Yeah. I know a fact that Jackie say her last name with a T.
Trivoli from NYSET, New York State Institute.
Jackie,
Are you there, Jackie?
Jackie, you had something you wanted to bring up.
I am. It's Tripodi, tripod with an I.
Sorry,
From
Sorry, I'm still waiting for the caffeine to kick in. Forgive me.
That's okay. Just like to make sure everybody knows who they're talking to.
Thank
So,
you, Jackie. Nice to
what
see
I
you.
would like, and I appreciate the opportunity to address the individuals that are on this call, because it's important that they understand that NYSET is accepting applications for reimbursement. Not only are we accepting applications for reimbursement, we are also accepting applications for tickets and venues. Now that things are opening up and everybody is getting out there, we're able to now purchase the tickets and even provide free transportation. I know that you all have all of these wonderful Accessoride and Metro and the New York City public transit, but just know that therefore when those individuals who cannot take those, we can provide free transportation to and from. So I have sent you guys in the past our application. I will do it again in an email if you want to send it out. But what I just want to ask and just really confirm with the care managers to please, there are a few simple things. When you send the application, make sure you answer the self-direction question. Yes or no. If the individual has self-direction, you need to make sure that they've included our program and family support in their budget. We need to know that. We can't process the application without it. The other piece that we ask, sign the application. If the application is not signed, we cannot process it. Anytime you ask for money, there must be a letter of justification as to why. Why is the goods or services needed? Not wanted. This isn't a want, this is a need. This is what family supports are for. We need to know if the individual, if their clothing reimbursement, are their clothes worn and torn? Are they ripped? Did they outgrow? Are they constantly being washed because an individual is maybe incontinent or pulling at their clothes? A lot of families are dealing with very frustrated young people, old people, my age people. I'm going to throw me in there. I'm not going to say I'm old. But just because there's a lot of frustration and things are happening. So we understand that these are circumstances. When they submit the receipts, this is a really big deal. Do not send us screenshots of receipts. We know that everybody is shopping online. We know that everybody is doing their best to make sure that their child's needs are met. But if they're making that purchase, they have to submit a complete receipt. Now, a complete receipt, if somebody sends for something online, they got an email confirmation of that purchase. We need that full printed email in order to provide the reimbursement. We cannot accept a screenshot that somebody takes on their phone and sends it to their care manager. And if a care manager, a few care managers have said to me, and maybe another borough, well, that's all the family got. That's all they sent me. Well, then they're not going to get reimbursed. And I'm from the New York State. I see something in the chat. I'm from the New York State Institute on Disability. We serve 5 boroughs in different levels. In Manhattan, we have a contract for camps. But for Brooklyn, and for the sake of this conversation, we do goods and services. We have transportation available. We have evaluations, which I know my colleague Doris has spoken to many families about. And we also have the tickets. But I think the most important thing is that everybody understands what we can and cannot accept as far as receipts. We cannot accept a screenshot. If that's all the family is sending to you, if they, send it, they can email. So if they're going to email you, they need to forward the confirmation email they received, and that has to be printed up and sent to us. We're working from home too. I mean, you can see I'm home. So we can't print the way everybody else is printing. We cannot do that. So please, you need to have it sent to us, a justification letter. The tickets, we need a current level of care. Let us know what tickets they want. We're going to work with you to try and get as many families out in the community. So Chris, I cannot thank you guys enough for the opportunity to address this today, because We are accepting applications. We really want care managers to send the applications to us. If you want to email it to me first so that I can look at it and not go back and forth, I'm happy to do that. I have our cell phone, which is 929-202-1115. I'll put that in the chat as well. I'm answering the phone calls within 24 hours if you leave a message. Please, we want to encourage families to submit the applications, but we need the right documentation in order to process it. I cannot emphasize enough how willing we are to work with families. The one other piece is that if the person needs a bed and it's a queen size bed, we must have a medical documentation justifying the medical need for a queen size bed. The state can deny it, even with the medical documentation. It has to be really very clear and cut as to what needs to be, why that person needs it. If the person is 7 years old and the family just wants to buy the kid a queen size bed, that's not something that's justifiable. If the person is 400 pounds and is 6'3" and can no longer fit in a full size bed, or has a special need that has them moving, or has seizures and they need a bigger bed, there's a lot of medical reasons why a person might need a queen size bed. So for families to keep in mind, we have these services available for them for what they need. It's not, oh, well, I feel like having what I want. And right now we're not reimbursing electronics. That's still off the table. So, thank you very much for, giving
Jackie,
me the
don't move yet.
Don't move.
Oh,
Stay on
I'm
screen.
not going anywhere.
No.
Stay on screen.
Jackie, can you please pronounce your agency name? That's one person's asking. And then Debbie and Rose have questions.
It's the New York State Institute on Disability. It's NYSID. We call it NYSID, but it's the New York State Institute on Disability.
Thank you.
Rose, you want to go first?
No, I just wanted to share, Jackie, your information. It's already been inputted in the chat. I think Doris can put it in for you.
Okay.
Now, Jackie, I thank you very much for what you said. I want to add 2 or 3 things, being that as chair of the Brooklyn Advisory Council, member statewide, we understand why the state says yes or no. And what Jackie said was 100,000,000% correct. When I tell parents, and I'm asking you care coordinator, make sure the receipt described is listed for what this is for the child, not for the mother, not for the father or the siblings, only for the child. I have sat on reimbursement committees and I've seen a fur coat, and I know the child is only 6 years old and the coat is the size of, for me, not acceptable. You need to make sure that families are doing this correctly. And also something very important, and I'm going to say this every time, and we talk about reimbursement. Reimbursement is not an entitlement. It is not at all. It will not ever be. It was set up to help families living at home. It originally was set up as a pilot project for family support years ago. No matter how someone says, agencies say, no, you can't get reimbursed again because we have other families. That's true. There's more need for reimbursement dollars than there are family support dollars. We need we need all the care coordinators that are helping the families to fill the paperwork out correctly. And when you help them write the justification letter, it must be why they need it, not, oh, I feel bad for them, or make them feel better. Only part make them feel better if the child weighs, like what you described, Jackie, 400 pounds, and the child can't move correctly because their bed keeps breaking. That I can understand. Or the auditors. Now, I want to tell you something. Reimbursement is one of the most audited services in New York State for family support. We want to keep this very needed family support program. That's why it's very important. You please must fill out those forms correctly. If there is a problem with the receipt and the clothes come with tags, cut the tags off and attach it to the form. Tape it on paper and compare it to the receipt so that when you send the originals in, you can get that. You may get that reimbursement, but it's not guaranteed. So I'm reiterating this very strongly because I have been in advocating for OPW services when it was OMRDD. So I'm asking, please, everyone, do this correctly. I know you have a lot of families on your caseload, but if you don't fill this out correctly, you are jeopardizing in the long run family support services for reimbursement and others. We have to do it correctly.
And I'm just gonna jump on that, please. Do not send us the copies of the receipts. Hold on to the copies for yourselves. We must have the originals on
Okay.
file. We get a lot of pushback. Well, you know, the family's afraid to send the original. They should make their copy. They need to send us the original. I may be working from home, but I go to the office every day to pick up the mail. So
Mhm.
I go in, I pick up the mail, we get it every day, we process it every day. And again, we want to work with families and we want to work with care managers, but they need to work with us. And as you really did say, if we don't use it, we lose it. And if we lose it, then this might not be down, you know, this is a concern for many families down the pike if it's something that we want to make sure that families get what they need. These are expenses incurred because they have a child with a developmental disability. I myself, if you don't know, I have a son with cerebral palsy and multiple disabilities. When he was younger, he crawled and his knees on all of his clothing because he crawled and did not walk. The clothing, the pants, we went through like crazy.
Mhm.
So, you know, these are things that people, you know, we understand there are sensory issues, but there always has to be a real legitimate justification. We have our sports and rec program where we provide the tickets, and what we also do is provide that's my phone ringing in the background that you're hearing.
Oh,
That's
I feel
my
like
other
I'm
phone.
losing. I'm like, where's the echo
We were
coming?
looking.
No, that's my house phone. I'm telling you, I'm
Oh.
working from home.
I
So
understand. We're home
PS,
too.
Well, today.
we're reimbursing, like if families go on recreational, if they get classes, music lessons and things, we're able to help with that with our recreation budget. So if you have a question about it, call us, text me, email me. I'll get back to you. We will make sure that we help however we can, but we will tell you directly. I cannot tell you though, the screenshots, we can't do it. Please share with your other care managers. If that's all the family is sending you, don't even bother sending it to us because we're going to return it. We're not going to accept it. So if the family says, well, that's all I've got, then that's all that they're not going to be able to get reimbursed. Please, I hate to sound so harsh, but if we can't do it if we don't have the right documentation. And like you said, we get audited and we'll get cited. And then what? Then we can't help anybody.
And I said that because in years ago when we do family support, the councils went with state work with the OPWDD workers. We went and we audited together.
I remember I used to do that on Staten Island.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what we're saying is we want everybody to get the help they need, but we have to fill it out correctly. You have we can't reiterate this much. Chris wants to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this because this has been brought up to the DDRO, and I'm hearing this from all the boroughs, and that's why I'm glad Jackie is here. But Rose, you can back me up as well because this is related to. As fortunately Joyce couldn't be with us today, but she wanted me to bring this up as well. And Rose, you definitely will agree with me on this. That this is even before we had MSCs. We really need to be really careful because the state controller, and I'm not saying city, I'm talking about state controller.
The Napoli,
or it doesn't matter. We have to be very careful how to do the reimbursement. There are chances like there's some of them go in a race. This is not a race. You have to be really careful with funding of reimbursement or any services. Because if those are open slots or open not being used, that money is going to go somewhere else. We might not even get it again. It's really that hard. So I've urged all agencies that do reimbursement But I also ask the care coordination and any agency that knows families very well, please make sure you fill it out correctly. And I'm very glad Jackie is here because Jackie does do almost every borough, but we know we have other agencies that do reimbursements.
But we're talking about
About
Brooklyn
today.
today only.
Yeah, and I'm speaking about Brooklyn because Brooklyn right now, because I cannot answer for the 4 other boroughs, because that's their job. But in Brooklyn, we have to continue making sure reimbursement is, everyone's filling it out. And that's including camp, because we do have camp just coming in now. Some of the agencies did send me
you have information, Jackie, about the camp form.
We, right now, camp, until the governor okays that there can be overnight camp.
Yeah.
Right now, we cannot reimburse for any camp. We're not even accepting camp applications right now because the governor has not officially okayed sleepaway camps. And we cannot, as a state funded, these are state dollars, use state dollars to pay for something that is not sanctioned by the state. So right now, we're still waiting for the governor to say, okay, we'll okay, in the Department of Health, sleepaway camp. And then if anybody, when they do open up, the applications must have the Department of Health certification that allows them to operate as a camp. We must have that information. We will not process any applications without the certification that it's going to operate as a camp. And the other question, and this is what's coming up, what if my child goes to camp out of state? We still have to get that directive. I don't have an answer for that. We don't have that answer. So if the person goes to camp in Pennsylvania, are we going to get a Department of Health from the Pennsylvania State Department of Health certification? We are mandated to provide reimbursement only for certified camps that are certified by the Department of Health, whether it be a state or a city. So we're still waiting for that directive. And until the governor says, okay, sleepaway camps are okay, we're not even accepting those applications right now. I mean, we're going to get into the new fiscal year in July. Hopefully by then, I'm hoping by the end of June, we have information. So I just don't even have an answer for that. We're still in limbo for that as well. Did anybody else hear anything that I don't know about?
Jackie, this is Chris. The only thing I'm just going to say is they are going to be making that announcement by June right now, because so far, but they're not doing like they used to in the past, have like a lot of people, but they're going to be starting like small, like instead of being like some people go away for 2 weeks, it's supposed to be a 1 week, so there is a proposal on the table.
There's a proposal, but nothing has been sanctioned yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even know if day camp has.
No, day camp is fine.
But
Day camp was fine. I heard day camp was fine,
we
but
still
not
have-
overnight.
Right. That's
No,
correct.
overnight they're still, as we speak, right now the health department is working on certain camp areas. This is the information that we got from, not just from the governor, but CDC is doing checking, and the governor as well as the attorney general, Atish James, is asking for an answer because summer is around the corner, and I apologize for that interruption. But the bottom line is yeah. And the bottom line is as I was trying to say, and I'm sorry I got interrupted, but we have gotten two groups that are already starting doing camp. One is the Suffolk County farms. They do camp, but they're not. They have until I think they're going to start late July and August. So we're saying is we'll have to wait till maybe next month on the outreach update, once they're supposed to let us know as well.
So thank you, Jackie, so much for your presentation, and for the care managers that are online, please share this information with the rest of your care managers. And if you're not here, you know of any other care managers from the CCOs that's not representing, please go ahead and pass along that information. That was very useful information.
And if I could, Rose, if you want, you can email me and I'll email everybody the forms. We have our updated forms as of February.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to email me, I'm not sure if my email's in the chat, I'll put it in. But just if you email me, I'll send you back all of the forms that we need. So we
Okay.
Okay, Jackie, I have a question reference
That
with the
sounds good.
forms.
yes,
Updated forms, borough specific, like Brooklyn has its own, Queens has its own.
Staten Island has its own form. Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens, we use one form. And Manhattan, we have a separate form because Manhattan, we only can reimburse for camp in Manhattan. So that's its own form in itself. The one that I send you is good for Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens.
Can you please resend it? I'll make sure it's on the website.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jackie.
for all
Thank
the
you, everyone.
clarification.
Jackie, there was a question earlier on the chat because everyone's
Okay.
putting their nook and crannies on. I think you did answer the question. I think we all did answer that question about reimbursement, but someone did ask about emergency reimbursement.
Well, if it's emergency respite, that's another piece that the state is become very, very strict about. It has to truly be some type of medical emergency. Somebody who has to go back to work because they can't stay home with their kid anymore, it does not justify an emergency. If there was a hospitalization or a death in the family and they needed to find a caretaker, everything is always individualized. We always encourage, if there is a question, call us. If we don't have an answer, and then too, there's the DBRO, Angela Blades, I know gets back to the email, she answers the phone calls. Her and I, whenever there's a question about something, we do communicate, which is helpful because we work together to try and help the family however we can. So I could tell you that. As far as, it depends on the emergency. If it's an emergency that, you know, we just had one not too long ago, a parent had a crisis. We were able to assist, and Angela was very helpful with that as well.
Yeah, and please also, we want to specify what you said about emergency, 100% correct, because it's, you know, like you have, it's there. See, a lot of people misinterpret what the emergency means. So I've had parents who told me emergency, I have to have a vacation with my kid. I need someone to watch. It's not an emergency.
That's not an emergency. And
being taken to the hospital because you have to have emergency surgery, or unfortunately you have COVID and you have to be admitted, that's a real emergency when you have COVID or being admitted to the hospital. But not because you decide you have to go on vacation. That's regular respite. Am I correct?
And we, you know, we don't do regular respite. We have our recreational tickets, so we don't have a respite program. And this is why when there's questions, if there's questions, really, we get back to everybody. I mean, I've even answered emails at 2 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep because, you know, who doesn't?
You're good, Jackie.
Right?
And
this is what we do.
And Jackie, I want everyone to know that NYSTED is the really only agency that when they do the recreation about the tickets to go to let's say, see the Cyclones or go to
Yankee or Met
game,
Knicks game,
it's
Nets
not
game,
just
Bronx
the
Zoo.
individual, it's the family. So, because I remember Elizabeth Sunshine said to me, you want your kids, not everybody wants to be away, they like being with their children. I liked when I would get in the pack the tickets because I got to spend time with my son in a recreational fun setting. So that program is an excellent program, but we need to do it correctly.
And just to be clear, we only have Brooklyn Cyclones now. We don't, Staten Island Yankees no longer is on
They
Staten
left
Island.
us.
So there's no more Yankees. We never had Mets. We can't do regular Yankees. So we have Brooklyn Cyclones, and hopefully in the fall we're going to have the Brooklyn Nets. So really, we want you to get the applications in. If we can't serve you right away, we'll let you know. If we're going to definitely happy, you know, to really want to help the families and the care managers as well.
Did you know that the Liberty women's basketball is coming into the Barclays Center?
Okay, good to know.
Nice, and they're much cheaper than Madison Square Garden.
Yes, I heard Rosal and Christina is supposed to be playing at the Liberty team.
Oh,
And I'm the coach.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the coach.
And I'm just kidding. See,
I'm in.
Good, and I'll be your coaches, ladies.
All right, guys, we have to move on. So thank you, Jackie, for your wonderful, resourceful information. Thank you.
Yeah. So,
So-
Rose, the other thing I know we have is also Debbie has the OPWD update. You want to do that?
Sure. Yes, let's go into that. Thank you.
Okay, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it'll come right back on. Okay. OPWDD is going to invite people receiving supports in their families to help plan for the future of the service system. What does this mean? They're going to be public sessions across the state because we have to do the American Rescue Plan and the development of the agency's 5-year statewide plan. Now, all this information will be we'll put it on the chat. We can, and mostly it's really going to be on the website because it's very intense. But example, there is like, how should OPWD meet the growing demand for services through a person's life to assure sustainability, equity, and access? They want to, like, how can the direct support and clinical workforce be strengthened to provide quality support? I'm not going to read into everything, but I will tell you, and this meets this meeting. How can care coordination better support people with complex needs or enhance the skills of case managers? Now, you have the right to do written testimony that can be submitted to it's all lowercase, the word planning, at opwd.ny.gov. Or you can mail it to their office, OPWDD, and you do attention communications office. That's at 444 Holland Avenue, 3rd floor, Albany, New York, 12229. Sorry, I get used to saying Brooklyn. But if you want also register to speak, they will limit your comments to 3 minutes. And it's going to be a first come, first basis. Okay. First form schedule will be Region 1, that's Western New York and Finger Lakes, and that's going to be on May 26th, 2021. I'm going to get down to our region. We are Region 4. We're going to be June 8th from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The contact would be for Heather Eichel Hines. Her phone number will be 718-642-6112. Also, since I know we do have care coordinators that also work in Region 5, that will be on June 9th. And you would contact Gina McCready. Also, and I apologize, I should have put in Region 3. Okay, yeah, Region 3 is going to be the Capital Region and Hudson Valley. So you can contact Karen Francisco at 518-388-0431. I strongly request everybody talk to your families, even help them just to write a statement. It's really important to get to talk and let OPW know what you think. They need to hear what you think. And it means if you think the system is not doing correctly, if there's a problem with any services, they need to know, because you can't fix something if you don't know about it. So I'm asking first as chair of the advisory group, and also asking as a parent. We want to maintain OPWDD. We want it to be able to support the families, and most important, our individuals, because developmental disabilities go from birth to death, and OPW does cover that. We need to make sure that they know what services, what help they need. Also, if the COVID interferes, that you have this opportunity to put in your thoughts and feelings. When you do speak, trust me, 3 minutes go very quick. I suggest also that you type up and write up and try to send them as an email, so that, because you can put in as many comments as you want. The more comments we get, you know, as AOPW gets, the better it will be. Because, and if you tell them why you don't think a program works, or if, say, the program does work, how can they keep it and enhance it? So everybody, this is not just for parents. If individuals have, and they can't write, then help them take down their thoughts and email it in. So this is a very, very important, these forums that are coming up. No, they're not in person yet because of COVID restrictions, but you have more than one way. You can appear, you can watch them. So this way you also hear what's complaints or compliments. So as chair of the advisory person for Brooklyn, who does represent also with statewide, this is extremely important for you to let OPWDD know what you really think and feel. Because if you don't let them know, and all you do is complain to just me, Rose, or
Joyce,
or Christopher, and I'm only talking about in the Brooklyn area, even just the Brooklyn DVRO, you're not helping if you think, oh, I don't want to get them in trouble. No, you're not getting anybody in trouble. You're trying to fix it, the system.
And remember, the commissioner does, as I said before,
He's going to see everything. He sees it. He 99% of the time, every time I've been doing these forums for many years, I've appeared in person. I've now, when you do it through video, I've done it. I don't only speak, and there are times I won't speak. It's not because I don't want to, but because I rather I'm putting in my input through emails. So it's very important for everyone to please. We need to hear from all sides, whether you work in the field, you're on the agency, you're a care coordinator, you are a parent or an individual, sibling, friend, family, please communicate. All this information will be on the Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory's website. And we will have it. If they give any extra dates, we will add that in. But the email that was sent by OPWDD will be attached into the website, and you will have the emails of where to communicate. You also, as I said, can type and mail. If your families don't have internet access but want to write something, you can write it and then you may help them mail it.
Just to let everyone know, this will be on our Advisory Council news update page. So that will be easier. So this is because this is a news update. So you may see on the front page on the main post saying the conference, but I'm going to suggest you go into the main page that says news update. So it will give you the instructions, but it's not on at this time because it just came in. So we will be, once it's available, you will check it by tomorrow, the latest, and it will be going, and you can see it from there. It's very hard to do it by email and it's easier to go onto the website because if I send it out to everyone, people are going to say,
no, I just got it yesterday at 5:48 p.m.
Well, came in this morning as well.
And also this morning. So yeah, we didn't have time to get it attached to anything.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions on Debbie's report?
I just want to share that, Debbie, thank you for sharing. And I think that information was also sent to all executive directors of provider agencies. So you will also be hearing more from your executive, management team, about that. So just stay tuned.
Yes. And please, everybody, I don't care if you're direct, I'm going to say this, from the direct care staff that actually works one-on-one with our individuals to the director of the agency, we want to hear from you because it takes a village to run this agency. It's not just us, it's everybody. So please, as I said, will be attached to the website. If you have access to the OPWDD, their webpage, it's on there right now. So,
but to make it easier, it will be on our website because I know some people say they give us a competition. Well, guys,
it's not competition. The more places you have,
it's not what I'm saying.
It's very important.
What I'm saying is it's hard to get on their website because it's always you got to find it, look for it. It will be on our website and it will be added in as part of the news update. But does anyone, again, I know Rose, you had a question, but does anyone else have a question? Because they're all very quiet.
I actually don't have a question, Chris. I was just gonna say if we, I don't know if Debbie, if you have any more update for us, or are we going to move along to the next person, which would be Chris?
Well, no, the only thing is I know Chris will bring it up, but I'm also I wanted to say one thing. I appreciate when people show up also to the Joint Advisory Council meetings. Chris is going to say the date, but I just been wanting to say this for a while. The advisory councils are working. I'm going to just talk about Brooklyn. I decided to help the DD Council because I felt that now because of COVID, and I know how there's just so many meetings anybody can go to. So that's why I spoke with Joyce Levin, and I said to her, and the exec board and my advisory council agreed that we have to work together. This way we made it easier instead of being like extra meetings.
Yes.
So please, everybody's always welcome to go to both meetings. Christopher has the update and the date, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
we appreciate when everybody shows up. It's very important.
Just before
I'm done.
Yeah, Rose, just give me a second. I'm muting someone who just came in. Just to remind everyone, this is my updates because this is something that you all have been asking. I know Rose has been dying to know this question as well, but I know this will be helpful. But I remind everyone, if you have a question about anything I put in today, I hope to hear from you guys because I might have an answer to that question. So I'm going to get on. First thing I want to remind everyone, I said this earlier, MTA is doing vaccine pop-ups. As you know, they started today. They had a press conference this morning at the Grand Central Vandalia, Vanville Hall, which is still on till 1 o'clock. Other areas could be from 3 to 8, 8 to 1, or as I said again, 3 to 8. Staten Island, you'll be doing that next week. There looks like they're going to be doing it maybe at St. George Terminal. I will have that information, should be available by the end of this week. But right now, they might be adding more other locations right now, seeing how they're doing with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And just to remind everyone, not all stations are ADA accessible, so I'm going to say Broadway Junction is not ADA accessible, but you do have other stations on this map here that are ADA accessible. You can go on, it is available also on our website. You can click on the mta.info/coronavirus pop-up -vaccine -stations. So please make sure that you, anyone wants to do that. Now, adding to that, if you do that, you do get a 7-day pass Metro card or a Long Island or Metro North train ticket. So that means if I want to go to Suffolk County and they gave me the train ticket, I'm covered. As well as Metro North. If I want to go up to Metro North, I can do that. If I just want the 7-day, that will work on all 5 boroughs in New York City, on the buses and subways, on that. So this is an opportunity. Pass that around, please. And that information is on our website. And you can always find the locations. And please note, keep this a link with you during next week as well, because they might be changing some pop-up locations. We'll have to see on that. Now, like to remind everyone, because this is related, as you know, we are coming up to election season, which we already are. This is the dates that are coming up. For early voting is June 12th to the 20th. So if anyone who did not register to vote, you should be doing that now. If you're already registered and say that family does not want to go out, you can always do a disability application and they will email you the application right in front of your own computer. It's like the same way you're doing the ballot market device, but it's on the computer. And you can just click on who you're going to vote for, which I will get back to later on or on the day of our next meeting. Affidavit ballots, if say you do not want to mail it in the mailbox, you can bring it to any polling site. Please make sure you see the cop, coordinator, or information, and they will tell you where to put it in a special box. And they will make sure that box does get transported back to Board of Elections. So this is the location, this is the information. If you have any problems with a site and it's regarding ADA accessibility, American Disability Act, please contact Ariel. Her number is here, her email's here. But she'll be joining us at our next meeting, as I was just bringing up now. Ariel, who is the new accessibility, who's been with us already a year, she will be speaking for 10 to 15 minutes about the more choices vote. So say like if I want to vote for 5 mayors, but in different numbers, I can do that. Say like I want to choose Rose as my number 1, another Rose for number 2, another Rose for number 3. I can do that. I can choose 5 or only 1 person. That is your choice. They're only doing the more choice. So I'm giving you a sample. That will be our next meeting. Will be Wednesday, May 26th. And remind you that please try to get on by 9:30 to make sure your microphones are working, your camera's working, all that jazz, so we can start our meeting on time. We will have a big agenda. IAC will be joining with us, as well as hope to see a lot of families, parents, agencies, everyone to please attend. This is something to help you guys out during the month of May as well as June. So this is our next meeting. Now, next week, as you know, we did not have a children's meeting. They are going to be meeting during their evening time, which is by Zoom, which you can actually, I'm moving this down. Calm Families,
Calm
Kids. Wednesday, May 19th from 4 to 5 on Zoom program. Please register by kwalker@brooklynlibrary.org, or please give them a call. If you have someone who speaks a different language, you need to let them know immediately. As you know, that is next week from next Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is a good opportunity to get a chance. Mr. Lewis, who is
Nicolette
Lewis, who is the psychiatrist department of HAC, but he's part of Lewis Hall Medical Center. So please make sure you pass that word. That information is still on our website, and hope to see a lot of people who can attend. Now, remind everyone, and this has been going on a lot of times, please make sure everyone, as I said before, and I know Rose can vouch with me. I know she's looking at me like I'm going to get her later. It doesn't matter because this is easier. As you know, we do have a news update page. We ask you that to please check up with any updates, information. Please let the families know. It is very easy to get on the website just from your cell phone. Just type in www.bfssac.com. It will pop up. It will say welcome. It will give you a first part of the news update, when is the next meetings, especially the joint meeting. And you can go on to the subcommittee page, which Rose, Rose's committee was on today. Transition is next week on the 20th. You can always contact Mary Christopher for that, because that's Zoom, and they handle Zoom. And they do have some good topics for their last meeting for the month of May on that. So please make sure that you get on. And also, we do have Corona-19 updated on our page, as well as all other information. Maybe you guys didn't, maybe it'll be very interesting. So I encourage everyone, please visit the website for any updates. And if you have any openings, I remind you, please send them by Friday, the latest. So I can make sure if it's the same thing that's going on for every week, I don't need it every week, but if you have something new you want me to update, then I will put it in. Now, remind everyone, we are asking everyone, and I'm going to repeat this word, everyone, to please join next Mass Force, which is on Thursday, May 27th. Please sign up and have some little fun, volunteer to help people make sure they're wearing a mask. You still have to wear a mask on the subway. If you do not wear a mask, if the NYPD stops you, it is a $50 fine. I really strongly please remind you, like even Debbie's wearing her mask right now.
And modeling, what's the mask they give out?
Yes, it is the washable, but we do have the kids mask available at train station booths, as well as when Mass Force is out, we give them out as well. You may did see us in Manhattan at West 4th Street or anywhere between World Trade Center, because it was May the 4th be with you. We are trying to make sure that everyone must wear a mask. And I have to remind you, this still goes in effect on trains and buses. Bus drivers may not let you on unless you're not wearing a mask. It could be a face covering, but something must cover the face.
That's the nose and the mouth.
Yes,
Must be covered.
at all times.
And now I'm taking this off.
Okay. Now, Rose and everyone else, please put this on your calendar. Get ready for the reduced fare Omni. We will have, this will be a advisory council update reduced fare Omni. This is for all agencies, parents, everyone. There are 2 times. One is for the morning, one in the evening. So please make sure you pass this out. This information will be linked to the website by the next couple hours later on. So that's easy 1, 2, 3. One of our speakers will be Donna Fregerson and Reggie Barron. Reginald Barron will be talking about the Omni procedure, but as this time also I'm going to remind everyone, please make sure that your families are updating the Metro card as of right now, and they do not have to re-sign up, because I really don't think people are hearing what I'm saying. If you already have a Metro card today, please print out page 1 of the reduced fare form. The only thing we need you guys to update is to make sure they have their phone numbers correct, your home address is correct, and if you have an email address, because they did add the word email. Email is very important, because when we do start the Omni, it is a way of starting up the new procedures. The new Omni will be starting this fall, but you do not have to sign up immediately for that card, for the reduced fare. You have from starting that September to the year of 2023. By 2023, the Metro card will retire. And the only thing you'll be using is your Omni card or your credit card or your bank card. So please, everyone, if you have any questions, please wait to the end when I'm finished. As you know, I'm going to remind you, these are the 2 times that are flashing. There will be an evening and a morning. Again, a morning and an evening. Please make sure you, whoever's coming, please make sure they sign in by a half hour early, because we like to start on time performance on it. So, Rose, does Rose, between you and anyone else have any questions?
So, Chris, I'm excited about the Omni card, and I can't wait. I don't have one yet, but so for people who have the transit credit card, right? Not the Metro card, the transit debit card kind of thing. How do you convert that onto the Omni card?
That is only available on the cell phone app, which if you have a Google, yes. Thank you, Rose. Fancy showing.
Thank you.
Rose, put it back out for 1 second. Does your thing have I can't see it, so let me see. Does it have the tap feature?
It doesn't, because that's before Omni started, so I don't know if there is a new, if I'll be receiving.
That's the old. Now, just Rose, can you just show that for a second? Because I'm lucky we can't see your name, but that card is not a tap card. Just let everyone know, that's the old version cards. Your transit check card, that could be merged on your cell phone app. Means you can sign it up, put it in, and when you're on the bus or subway, you could just go boop, like I just did. Boop, I'm on the bus. Boop, I'm on the train. Boop, guess what? I just transferred to a bus. It's only the base fare. You cannot do monthly at this time. You cannot do weekly at this time. It's the base fare only, $2.75. This is not including accessory. This is not including Long Island Railroad. This is not including Metro North. Only the subways and buses. This is phase 1. So if anyone has that card, can do it now. If you have a bank card that doesn't have that logo that you can tap, you can actually get on the bus right now. And the main thing is that is the one easier way, because I know in fact a lot of employees are doing that now. It is a little easier, so they don't have to find their Metro card anywhere and say, oh, I lost my Metro card. Well, guess what? That's not going to happen ever again, because if somebody tries to steal it, you can self-destruct the card. on that. Rose, did I answer your question?
Yeah, and also, are you able to tap in twice with the
Yes.
Omni card if you haven't? Okay.
Let me make this very clear. Transit checks, I'm going to say no.
Because the transit check is
Because,
for you only.
remember, as I said before, well, I'll say this clearly. The transit check is similar like the reduced fare. It only works for you, Rose. So say like if you're using your employee mode, that has to be used when you're traveling from your home to your office or wherever you're going on the field. If you're using your regular bank card or credit card base fare, which I'm saying the word base fare, that could be linked to your regular credit card or bank card. But your bank card also has the tapping as well. But I suggest right now for everyone, make sure you work on a budget, because right now you're only going to be doing $275, whatever you're going from A to B to back to A or going to C. So please be really careful when you're using that. The only thing I can mention about the reduced fare card, there will be no more picture, but it will say reduced fare, means it will say RF, unless they change something else. That's the only sample I can give you guys, but more will be coming up soon. But in the future, you guys can energize your cards when you do get the original Omni card at stores, your computer, I say stores and computers, and train stations. And I'm saying stations with an S means you can energize it at Long Island Railway, Metro North, and the subway. One machine, no one else. Like right now, they have their own Long Island Railway machine. The subways have their own machine. That's not going to happen anymore. It's going to be all in one. So you might have more options, and say something goes wrong with that card, you have your bank card as a backup in an emergency to get you home. Even today, if your Metro doesn't work, you have the backup. So I hope that answered your question, Rose.
Yes. Thank you, Chris.
Does anyone else have a question? If anyone breathing over there, I just like saying that.
Sounds like everyone is all clear.
Let me double check. I'm going to do a inspection check. Let's see, because someone's scaring me. Dolores Khan, I know you had a question because I could smell it from here, and I see you smiling. And I can't hear you. I don't speak far, far away.
No, everything is very clear. I don't have a question.
I know. Just making sure.
Okay, just making sure.
Just making sure I know you're still there.
Right.
Oh, yes. And speaking of checking, just to let everyone know, and this is, Debbie will agree with me. Please, everyone, if you're calling the advisory council number, 718-642-8512, we do return your calls, but I got to remind you guys, please let your families and everyone else know to please say your clear and slowest message. It's very hard for Ms. Ann Menino to listen to the message if you're going too fast. As I said before, please leave your name, phone number, and a clear, slowest message.
Especially say the phone number slowly. It's very important.
And clearly.
And clearly, because if we don't return the call, it's because Mrs. Menino, who is the executive assistant for the advisory council, I check it as well as Christopher. And if I then can't even make it out, we can't call you back. Please, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
And we do return calls as soon as possible. Remember, because of the high voltage, if anybody's calling us around like the whole nick and dime coins, we do get back to you as soon as possible on that. So Ann Menina does check the voice messages. I know she checked it this morning. You can always remind yourself, email us, and we do get back to you as soon as possible by email, because I know Rose knows I get back to her fast in our heartbeat.
Jackie even knows.
Even Jackie, Jackie Dolores, and the other Jackie.
You all know we get back to you as fast as we can,
Yes.
except if someone, and I'm not saying you, Jackie, but people I just mentioned, but if you don't tell us in clear, we don't get it. And what was that for?
No, just saying that we just go bang, bang, and you don't
Bang.
hear nothing.
We can't hear anything. So what
So-
can I say?
So, Rose, those are all my nick and dimes, all the good stuff, and all the gossip. But just to let everyone know, Omni is still on schedule.
That's all we know. And the half fare for seniors and people with disabilities is slowly coming, but they're doing first people without disabilities who pay full fare. So just letting everybody know. Anybody has any questions?
Thanks, everyone. I know all the announcement has been entered into the chat. I don't know if anyone else have any questions, comments before we end.
Does anyone have? Dolores Khan.
Those.
But I don't speak.
Doris, okay.
Yeah, I'm Doris Kahn, the Outreach Coordinator for New York State Institute on Disability. My colleague Jackie Tribodi spoke about reimbursement, recreation, and transportation. I do want to add that we also offer evaluations for individuals who do not have Medicaid for the purpose of obtaining OPWDD eligibility. And we also offer crisis management services in the Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens. And the evaluations are for the boroughs of Staten Island, Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens. I do want to say something about evaluations and crisis management to the care coordinators. I'd like to say that right now, these things are still being done remotely until the governor says we could all go back to offices 100%. Our evaluators and crisis management coordinator is doing things remotely. Parents are reluctant to do this, to get the evaluation, because they feel, oh, I'll wait till I could do it in person. Don't wait, because you want the services to be in place. Now we're coming to the end of the school year. We want everything to be in place for services for September. Please do it remotely. These people are professionals. They know how to do it remotely and get the information they need for OPWDD to get the services that you will need and to get it processed. So don't delay because it's being done remotely. That is the message I wanted to get across to the care managers. Thank you.
Just to let Jackie know, we got her email, so just look at that in.
Good.
But also Dolores and Jackie, we have. And I also forgot. And I was going to say during the end, we have received a lot of compliments from you guys, as well as some other agencies, that families are feeling a little more safe on that.
Good.
On that. And I actually will bring in that's my announcement later, Rose, when everyone else is finished, my last announcement, because it does relate to everyone here today, especially double for Rose.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
How about Pat working on the iPhone? Because I know she's hiding.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi. Yes, I would like to make an announcement. Is it a good time to do it?
Yes, it's perfect.
I think
Fine.
Rose and I and everyone will agree. We'll say that's why we're having fun saying, "Where's Pat hiding?"
Hi. Okay, so now GHO, we have adult programs available. We have a Day Ahead Without Wall. We have a job training program, Pre-Vote. They are all available. We have immediate openings. Within our departments, we do have a staff speaker Korean, Chinese, Spanish, and we have a staff available to do American Sign Language as well. So if anyone is interested, care managers, please contact me. My phone number is 718-307-6563. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. And by the way, Pat, don't leave. Oh, now I see her face. Well, right side up. She's doing that right side up routine.
Hi, Pat.
Oh, that's
Now
good.
Thanks, Pat.
Now you look good, Pat. Now it's great to see a face. But Kathy Garcia, do you have anything you want to add? Because you look like you're hiding from there. and I can't hear you.
I said, no, I'm not hiding. I'm paying attention, just trying to
know.
multitask at the same time.
I know. Just
We know.
I'm Kathy Garcia from Mercy Drive, Inc. We also do provide services in reference to day hab, community hab, in-home respite, pre-vocational services, and also family education training program. We have openings. In reference to our day habs, we provide transportation to and from home. The same thing for our pre-vocational services. And we do service all the boroughs, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, and the Bronx. For Compap and Respite, we also do provide services in Staten Island. Okay. Mhm. And I did receive a lot of updates today, especially with the Omni card. So thank you. I'm very familiarized with NYCD, NYSID. I've worked with them in the past, so I know all of their protocols as well.
Kath, quick question for you. For your day hab, is it a day hab without wall or is it a site-based day hab?
Good question. It's a day hab without walls. At the moment, due to COVID, everything is running on protocols in reference to ratios, whether in the hub location or out in the community. There's also a variety, we're very diverse, and a variety of different languages, to accommodate the families if they don't can comprehend or understand English. There's staff surveillance at all times. They're accompanied all over. So, we are setting up open houses. We already just conducted 2 of them, but if you want, I can send the link to this. I haven't been around for quite some time, but I can partake and more frequently with you all.
Yeah,
on
no,
the monthly meetings. Yeah.
Just one more question. So for I just wanted to get a quick understanding. For your day hab, I know you provided transportation to and from program. Do you also serve lunch?
No.
Okay.
The lunch has to, yes, come from home.
Okay, got it.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that loud and clear.
It's a matter, there's times and occasions where we do things together for them, but it's a high risk when it comes to allergies, the do's and the don'ts.
Tell me about
those
it.
type of things. Yeah.
Thank
Kathy,
you.
Yeah, Kathy, I want to thank you for mentioning the word allergies and asthma, because a lot of people gotta realize that people are hard allergic to food, like peanut butter, pork, beef. It depends what you're allergic to. You got to be really careful and stay healthy on that. That's another thing.
Yeah, and not only that, depending on the level of the individual, sometimes they can't have pure solids. They need, according to the way they are able to eat. So it's risky. So we try to balance things out. I would like to provide my phone number. I'm available at all times. And also my email. So my agency cell number is 929-365-0122. And my email is y.garcia, Garcia, @mercydriveinc.org.
Dolores, I think that answered your question, because Kathy, that's what she was just going to ask.
Yeah, I can type it in if you guys want.
I would like.
I was just going to say yes, if it's possible, but also before you all when we end this meeting, I'd like to remind everyone on your chatting little thing, on the bottom to your right, there is a more button. If you click on it and you save the chat, when the meeting ends, you get all those announcements, all the chats that happens. That's why there's another reason why I tell people in the beginning of any when it comes to the joint meeting, don't put your announcements in when we're ready, because you don't want to have personal questions go on. You know what I mean? So you can save the chat. Once you save that chat, you will get all those announcements, even people's information that you need. So in case all of a sudden you lost the paper, Now you have it on your computer.
2 ways of keeping updated.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions for Kathy? Because I know Rose was on a roll, a good roll. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And if you see Ben, tell him stop being the mysterious person.
Just say hi. Just send my regards.
And I think everyone got her information.
All right, Chris, you want to move on to your announcement?
Wait a minute. You have Christina. Does she have an announcement?
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't see anyone else.
I do not at this time.
Yeah.
Aha. Nice try. Okay, my announcement is going to be very simple because this is related, and I'm glad Pat's still with us because this relates to everyone. And I have to make this clear to everyone. If you see someone on the train or a bus, this is the best weapon to have, not to hit them, to use 2 things. Use my MTA app. Go when you click on the left side of it, there's called help and feedback. You don't realize you don't have to say anything to the person or say anything to the bus driver, the subway, whoever. The bottom line is you can even take a picture without the flash, but you can still put in your, sorry, I didn't realize my camera. Actually, that's another way you didn't want to do, camera. Yeah, but the bottom line is this will help anyone. But I'm going to remind you guys, yeah, the trains are safe up to Pence, but remember, it is better to stay near the driver or the conductor. And remember, on some of the computer trains, like I'm going to say like the A and the C, the G, and soon Staten Rapid will be getting their R211S, because remember, we are delayed because of coronavirus. They are intercoms on the train. If you see an emergency, press it. Also remind you, if you want to put a police complaint in, you can always go into NYPD website, which I'm going to type it up today, right now, so everyone has this. You can always type in the www.nyc.gov/NYPD or just Google it. Make sure you go to precincts or your transit precincts. Because remember, when I say transit precincts in the 4 boroughs, there's transit 34, Rose, where your office is, you're at transit 30, which you're the central base. But Staten Island, you're the MTA police. And
why don't you explain that if you happen not to know your precinct,
you can go on to
you let them know, say you're on the train, what train you're on, the station you're passing, or the direction you're going, and then they'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, and figuring it out, there is a link to that that will tell you what station you're in.
And that includes for the buses. If you're on the bus, you just said, I'm on, like example, I'm on the B68. I am going towards, say, Coney Island, and just tell them that, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And there's the bus number. Just try to text the bus number in.
But the bottom line is this is more for a subway right now. We're just asking everyone, please make sure you stay alert at all times. And I'm going to remind everyone, I travel on the subway. And let me say, if I see something, I say something. That's the one word that we're asking, especially in any borough on a subway. Please be safe. And if you see the train is not clean, please make sure you get the train card number, because immediately they do stop the train. They may even say this train has to go out of service because of I'm going to say dirty stuff. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. It's a nice way. But I remind you, all trains do get cleaned up very clearly. Each of the terminals do get each terminal, when the last stop, they do get cleaned. And I can tell you, even when they're in the yard, if they're in the yard, they actually go into the power wash. So all I can say is, if you all of a sudden see a shining glare, like Rose, like you're traveling to Staten Island, if you see a shining glare, or Jackie, if you see something shining glare, that's the trains. That's how much they get clean. But if we don't know that, I don't know that as well, how am I supposed to advocate? So you all have a part. Please, as you know, Edith Prentice passed away for accessibility. I am now all 5 borough accessibility right now with Transit Riders Council till we get a second person. But if you see something, you don't have to always let me know, but the app needs to know, because you get a reference number, it goes faster, and the only way we can track the problem, like today, I was supposed to keep finding out where that train is at all times, or that bus. It's anywhere. We just want to let everyone know there is an app, and it's not that hard to do. But at this time, we're asking everyone, please try to go on the subways, try to go on the bus. But if you know that your train is running fine, you don't see a problem, you can always put a compliment in. There is ways of doing that. Does anyone have any questions what I just said? And just to remind everyone, also on that website, there are NCOs. So certain sections of your borough, you do have 3 or 4 officers representing that section of where you live, and you can work together, like a group home, your own home. They do have that. So please make sure you get to know your NCOs, because you know that.
Neighborhood community officers.
Yes.
That's what it stands for.
Yes. So we are encouraging everyone. Thank you, everyone. Rose, I'm done.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I like finishing on time. I know we all have a lot to do, and an hour and a half is great. Just want to take this time to thank you all for getting onto the call. I know that we are not meeting next month, right, Chris? Probably our next meeting is going to be, we're going to resume back again in
October. Because you have Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
That's correct.
Rose, before you end, there was someone else just came on when I was speaking announcement. Miss James popped in. Angelique James. Do you have any announcement before we adjourn?
Doesn't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it. Okay. So yes, so our next meeting is going to be, we're going to be back again in October. And my hope for that meeting is really to have, created some kind of collaboration, because that was the setup for the meeting to be, but I feel like it's not going in that route. So we may have to come back and revisit it, how provider agency and care coordination organization are going to partner together in order for this meeting to happen. I see a hands up, right, Chris?
Yeah, Rose, hold on. There's a Miss asking, saying, I have an announcement, Miss James.
Yeah, I don't think can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, now we can.
Yes,
Oh,
Miss James, I can hear you. Long time no see. What are you trying to do, a dance over there with me?
And I did
Long
email
time.
you. Send it.
Hello, everybody. So I do intake with Unique Care Community Services. We currently have day hab available in Queens and Brooklyn. They do drop off and pick up. We also have Saturday program. Summer camp is coming up, and holiday respite, even though that's about to be over soon. And we have a new program, children waiver program, that we're working on. So we have a lot of ComHab respite program that is available with staff, and even if you want to staff, but we have individual available. If you have an individual, you can email me at ajames@uniquecarenyc.org. So it's ajames@uniquecarenyc.org.
Yeah, Miss James, 2 questions.
Sure.
You said number 1, you said camp.
Summer camp.
What kind of summer camp?
Right now we're doing Brooklyn and Queens, so they'll
No.
Is it sleepaway?
No, it's not sleepaway.
Day camp. No,
It's day camp.
Want to clarify.
We have to clarify because it's day camp, correct?
My apologies, day camp, not sleepaway.
Yeah, because we got to be really careful, because right now, governor has not made an announcement.
Make an agreement.
And we just mentioned that earlier today in the meeting. That's why we're just double checking. Second question, can you type up the information onto the chat that you just did now, so everyone can get your information?
Sure. I'm doing that right now.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Everyone got it? Okay.
All right.
So, oh no. Something else popped up.
Yeah, it's popped up. Well, I have to type it in one by one.
Yeah, it's okay.
But you also can send it to the advisory council. I did send you the email.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And just to remind
yes.
you, Miss James, and I will remind everyone who's on this, especially Pat on that phone, I said Pat because
Pat Lou.
Pat Lou always does it, as well as Kathy Garcia. Please, if you have something new you want us to put onto the website, please email us at the bfssac@yahoo.com, and I'm gonna change my screen so everyone can get a moment of saying okay.
BFF.
So everyone can see that.
You see it, everyone?
Now, remind everyone, the news update is always updated. Like Debbie will mention, like earlier, the OPWD, she will put that on. Like Rose, if say anyone has an event like a opening house, you guys want me to put that up, I need it by this Friday. I cannot do short notices because it's too early to do that.
It's not easy to actually upload and put information into a website.
Especially everyone is on the website, like over 1,500 people are on our website right now because I just got.
But you can also share it on the advisory council's Facebook page, okay?
Exactly. Yes, you can put it on Facebook. You can put it on a Twitter account. That does go express.
Oh my God.
So, and I see Miss James just put in the.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, Pat's is saying thank you. All we will do.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
We appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys.
Okay. Anybody else?
Rose?
Rose?
I believe that's it. If no one else have any questions, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your summer. We will see you back here again in October.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rose, everything okay?
Yeah, we all good. So, who's somebody?
That's Ann.
No. Another one person is in there.
Hold on. There you go,
And,
Rose.
and actually just left. Yeah, everything
No,
is good.
I just cleared them off.
Okay. Yeah, everything is good. So thank you, Chris.
I think unfinished business, it really woke up everyone because the reason is to get everyone. Unfinished business means get all your information you need now and see which CCOs did show up. So you had Tri-County and you had Care Design.
The usual. It's only 3 of them. So yeah.
But I'm not surprised with ACA because I'm really, excuse my, I'm saying this now. Hold on. No, seriously, hold on.